representation document should say they're gonna pay you 3% of the purchase price. So let's just say about 15,000, right? You call Cindy, the listing agent. The seller say, we're not paying buyer's agent commission, but we're paying 10,000 buyer's concession, right? 10,000, you're supposed to get paid 15, but now the seller's paid 10. What are you then you're gonna do? What do you need to do? Tell me. Yes, either that. So basically the buyers is only paying you 1% now instead of 3, or do both, right? Come back and say, Cindy, can we work it out? Can we negotiate where the seller's willing to pay 15,000 concession, right? So let's just say back and forth, okay, Cindy's client, yeah, listing agent. And you should negotiate all this before the showing. And before a lot of buyers, I'll come back to that, before a lot of buyers refuse to sign the buyer rep because they're like, why am I paying you commission, right? But now, so, and you know, on the buyer rep, I'm gonna show you guys too, on the buyer rep, it says start date and ending date. Usually it's 6 months to a year that you represent them. And then you put in the county, right? Geographically, the area that you're gonna show them. So because of this, be prepared. The buyer may not sign that kind of broad term on the buyer rep, and that's okay. Before you take Cindy to showing, right? Whatever the address on there, just put that one address to protect you. Because you don't want to work for free. So let's just say the property address is here, 7005 Chase Oaks. That's where you're going to take me on a showing, right? You're going to put that information on the buyer rep. You're going to put 3%. But the buyer may come back and say, I'm not signing that 3% that I'm paying you commission. So what do you need to do? You need to educate them why you deserve to get paid 3%. And we will show you that later on, okay? But then you go to this listing agent and you negotiate that. You ask all the information before you're showing, okay? Because if you don't negotiate that and you take your client to showing and your client like the house, you're not getting paid. Or you're getting paid lower than what you deserve, okay? But again, it's all negotiable. Does not mean that it's automatically 3% anymore, okay? So that's why you gotta ask the listing agent and negotiate the concession in the contract, okay? Seller to credit buyer X amount of money at close of escrow to satisfy buyer's contractual agreements with buyer's broker, okay? Got that part? The slide, okay. The verbiage to consider, I even have the verbiage right here for you. The verbiage to consider before you put in any offer contract, you negotiate with a listing agent, right? And you can put it in the contract or some kind of agreement that says seller to credit buyer certain amount of money at close of escrow to satisfy buyer's contractual agreement with buyer's broker. So whatever the difference it is, okay? But you must ask for the concession in the contract. Yes, yes, Dahlia. Sorry, I'll come back. Dahlia, I'm gonna be here all night. I'm just kidding. Dahlia, you had, Estella. I keep messing up your names. Question?
I'm a buyer.
Yes.
And usually there was the listing agent, you will be waiting for different offers. So why I'm gonna commit to you, buyer agent, and I'm gonna promise you to pay any commission?
Depends on the price. How much are you willing to offer? But sometimes they already have something set in mind. They just don't disclose it on MLS. What you do is you call the listing agent and you find out if there's any buyer concession before the showing, and if seller's willing to pay any commission. That's before the showing. And then after the showing, before you put in the offer, that's what you negotiate also, besides all the other terms. Okay, then you negotiate, okay. But again, when they tell you, okay, before the showing, the seller is paying commission or this amount of concession, you have to educate the buyer, okay, this is what the seller side is offering. I will work for you to negotiate everything, but I just want you to be aware that if for some reason, if they're not paying the full commission that I deserve, then the difference can be on you. But I will deserve that commission, if that makes sense. Right, yeah, I will fight for you. Because sometimes they could list for 500, you negotiate down to 450, that's 50,000 saving. So even if they pay you another 10, 15 grand, it's still benefit for them, right?
But people are, see that. Because.
That's why you have to educate them. So here's the thing. A lot of buyers are gonna be now like, I don't need an agent. I don't wanna pay them. I don't need an agent. So what you have to educate them that they need an agent like you. I have presentation, I'll show you later on.
So it's practically like, getting a listing.
Exactly. That's why when we have one slide in here, treat your buyers as if they're your sellers. If you're gonna go out there, bless you, and you're gonna work and get the listing agreement, you wanna earn that listing, right? You're gonna have to treat your buyers the same thing. Now you gotta show your buyer why they need to choose you as your agent. You're allergic to me? You're so intense, like you gotta light it up, like gotta have fun, you know? Okay, yes. Go ahead.
Explain the difference. I know commission, but I guess.
Concession, AKA closing cost. Okay, so on the contract, there's a portion, it says seller will pay closing costs for the buyers. Okay, so terminology, same thing. Concession equal closing cost. Okay.
So in addition to the closing cost, or in the closing cost?
It's lumping together, yeah. Usually, most of the time, the sellers will not even offer closing costs. Okay, unless the condition of the house, it needs repairs, something that the seller was supposed to fix it up, but now, okay, no, let me just give the buyers concession. They can come in, they can paint the color of the house that they want instead of me choosing the color that they may not like, right? Things like that. So it depends on the condition of the house, depends on all the other aspects, it's all negotiable. But most of the time, the seller may not offer concession unless the condition of the house or if it's a VA loan, right? So the VA loans usually is 103% VA loan, for example. If someone does not have money to bring in for down payment, then they will go back and negotiate with the seller to bump the sales price up, okay, to cover their closing cost. So if it's $500,000 and the closing cost is 20, now the sales price is going to be 520 with the buyers paying closing cost 20. But all this is not involving with your commission. Okay, so now because of this NAR settlement, you need to add the commission in there and negotiate it in lieu of closing costs. Same thing, right? It's the same thing. But if you're going to negotiate closing costs, concession for the client, now you need to add on top of your commission concession into that amount. Okay? Yeah.
If the seller provides concessions for the buyer,
Mhm.
those concessions are used for the buyer's agent's commission?
Well, okay. Yes. But how it's going to read on the closing disclosure, okay? You guys know what closing disclosure is, right? Okay. It's a fee sheet, like disclosure, all the fees. So now this is how it's going to look like. Let's say your commission is 15,000. You negotiate the concession 15,000, okay? Your commission is going to be charged to the buyer side now because the buyer's paying you. But on the other hand, the seller is going to give the buyer credit for the closing cost of the same amount. Okay, so there could be no such thing as the seller is going to pay buyer's commission anymore on the closing disclosure. It's the buyer side, and then the seller will give back in way of concession, if that makes sense, or closing cost, okay? Reimbursement, whatever you call it. But that's how it's gonna look moving forward.
But then the buyer has come up with that $15,000.
No, no, it's not extra. Because remember, the seller is giving the buyer 15,000 closing cost. And then the buyer pay you 15,000 closing cost. It's breaking even. Right? So if the seller pay your closing cost, what happened? They raise up the price. Now they can lower it down, and then the buyers pay your closing cost. Or it could be the same. The seller's paying, giving the buyers credit for closing costs, then turn around, the buyer pay your commission. It's the same thing. Same thing. But the way they do that so that you can work and earn the commission from your buyers. Okay? Let's move forward. I know we're gonna have a lot of questions. Yes.
So I have two questions. One is, currently I have a tab.
Mhm.
We don't have,
Buyer rep.
we are friends with buyers with, Christian agreement already. And it includes the fact that it is going to 3%. But like you were saying something about putting the address. So because I don't have, there is no property yet, I just put the zip code.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
If they're willing to sign, the more you get them to sign, the better for you.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So now the second question is on listening, is it gonna be the same thing? You know, because I know that on MLS, you want to have someone in the property, that VAT is also that. That's via
Agent commission.
yeah, is also that. So is it gonna be the same thing if I want to have somebody with listening? Do I have to talk to the person of the listening agent before I show the property?
So after the court stamp and move forward with this whole thing, okay, you will not see the commission on BAC anymore, on MLS. Instead, they're gonna add in replace it with concession field. Okay, so you can possibly see that when you pull up on MLS. That's something in the work right now. So in lieu of, oh, BAC is 3% or 2.5%, they can put like 5,000 concession, 10,000 concession on MLS. Okay, yes. Okay, so what you can do today when working with sellers, okay, you gotta take a look at your listing presentation, and I'm gonna show you what eXp has offered. The thing is, a lot of you guys, well, most are new. So most of you are new. Are you familiar with all eXp tools yet? Okay. Have you go through the briefcase? I know you guys have, right? Briefcase is number one. When you first join eXp, you have a welcoming letter. Write all this down, please, because you may not know this already. So you should receive what is called a welcoming letter to eXp. In that, it's gonna have a link. It's called Briefcase. When you click on that link, it has all the onboarding checklist, okay? All the software you gotta download, all the tools that eXp offer. And then because you're new, you are supposed to be paired with a mentor and go through the mentorship program on your first 3 views. Okay, so you have to sign up with a mentor. Once you have assigned a mentor, so with the mentorship, you can either get assigned automatic by eXp, or when you submit the application, you can always change the mentor. If you like a different mentor, you can request a change, okay? But the mentorship has, I believe, 10 or 14 classes. You have to go through all those classes, and then you can work with your mentor on the transactions, okay? That's the steps. So one of the tools that you guys have, if you go into eXp Enterprise and you scroll down, there's eXp Marketing, brochure, all that stuff, okay? So, oh, I had it on my lap. So once you click on that, it will give you all the marketing tools. it will have all different presentations. They already have a buyer's presentation. They already have a seller presentation. They have all the marketing tools for you, brochures, flyers, open house, like you name it. It's already in there. What you do is you download it and you customize it with your info. Okay, your headshot, your contact info, and then I'll share you the sample on here later on too, so you can see, and I'll give you some ideas of how to customize it to make you stand out from other people, okay? But that's what the listing presentation is. Before you go to see the seller, potential seller, and earn the listing, you have to prepare the listing presentation, okay? So what are you explaining to the sellers to take them beyond the headline and then become their listing agents? So now with the NAR settlement and all that stuff, the best thing is to focus on sellers because you know for sure they're gonna pay your commission, okay? That's the best thing, okay? So I'm gonna show you of how you're gonna approach prospects and turn them from prospects into clients, okay? From clients to contracts, from contracts to closings. Until you get a deal to closing, no one's getting paid, okay? So how does compensation to a buyer broker work? Many MLS are reporting 50% or more of sales have concession. So some of the listings now, they are doing like a hybrid right now. Some are still listed the buyer's agent commission on MLS. Some put 0 and they may put on there, contact me for concession or something, okay? So I spoke with Karen Richards. She is the residential broker for our state, Texas. And she said any listings right now that you put the commission for the buyer's agent commission, when the law passed, it will automatically be gone, and then you just have to negotiate again if your property has not been sold, okay? So just be prepared. I want to prepare you for the changes. So when it's actually changed, you're not gonna be like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do, okay? Because some of y'all may be new, but you already have activities, right? So you need to educate them. So, however, if you're a good listing agent, you should educate your seller why they should pay buyer's agent commission, right? How long do you want to hold on to this house? How quickly do you need to get it sold, right? Do you want more traffic? By doing this, if we let the agents know that we're offering, you know, because again, it's the offering concession is not set to stone. Everything is negotiable. And like I say, the seller can still say, oh, I still want to pay the buyer's agent commission, right? So it's your job as a listing agent to educate your seller. And like I say, it's the same thing, but the mentality is like, instead of 500, I'm going to bump up 515, and then I'm going to pay the buyer's agent commission 3%. Same thing, right? So you have to educate them why they should do that. And then of course they have to be the one that's making the decision, but at least you educate, okay? Concession should be part of the pricing conversation going forward. Like I said, negotiate on the concession, okay? Who is your buyer? So Mr. Seller, who would you like your buyers to be? Remember guys, gals, when you're dealing with homeowners, there's a lot of emotions attached, right? You have to try to understand, especially if you try to get the listing, you need to understand the story, the whole story behind it, of why they bought this house at first and why they're selling now. So the thing is with homeowners, when they bought the house or they built the house years ago, they envision their family there, right? I'm going to raise my kids. I'm going to take care of my mom. It's going to be multi-generational home, etc. Right? So sometimes that mentality and the emotional continue to be attached even when they're ready to sell the home. So more likely, if that's the story behind it, they will like to have the buyers or the new owners that's going to move into the home may have the same vision. Okay. Because the house was built, if the house was built for multi-generational, it's not gonna work for any family to move in that is not multi-generational. Make sense? So you have to understand that, okay? So who is your buyer? FHA, VA, whatever, right? Because if it's FHA, if it's VA, then the commission, concession, whatever, could be different. Okay, so just try to understand. Are you going to offer showings to any buyer? Because some sellers may be limiting themselves. Oh, I don't want to deal with FHA. I don't want to deal with, VA because it takes too long to close. I want cash, I want whatever, conventional, I want to close within 30 days, right? So you have to understand from them. Or are you going to refer, sign calls, dual rate commission or variable rate commission? Again, it's negotiable. It could be variable, different buyers, right? I may say, well, if Sadaf can bring me a cash buyer to close in 2 weeks, I can pay her 3% commission. Versus the other one, oh, well, this is an FHA deal. It may not close until 30, 45 days. I'll just do 2% or 2.5%, right? So they get to pick and choose. It's their money. Their money, their house, they get to choose, okay? Update your listing packet and menu of services and fee for those services. So these are some things that you need to know when you're working with the sellers. And I'm gonna show you what the listing presentation looked like for you to earn the listing, okay? Now, this is a harder part because now you're representing the buyer, right? And then for decades, everybody was just like, well, the seller is going to pay commission. Now you're going to have to pay commission. So it's going to be hard to turn that mentality around, okay? So what is the process for buyer strategy sessions? How do you meet buyers for the first time? What is your lead gen strategy? Who's here start doing lead generation? What have you been doing?
Usually try to close. Out postcard.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay. And I see that you do social media as well, right? Who else is doing anything on lead gen? Lead generation. How do you generate your leads?
Oh, I want to. Anytime somebody tries to talk to me, I'm like, well, do you? Do you?
I'm a realtor,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
See?
And then I can say no, but I'm putting it on. But I do get their number if they'll try to contact me, but it'll be like, they'll ask me a few questions on things and I can answer what I know. And then I just be like, well, you know what we can do is, let's get, cause someone, what was it? One day I had made something, it was just random person, and I gave him my number, and he was, asking about like his credit. I'm like, okay, so what you can do is just go ahead and, I could give you a lender or a loan officer and get in contact with you and see how much debt you need to pay off. Because he was like, he got to pay a lot of this off right now. So I said, well, don't quote me on this because I'm not really sure, but just, get in contact with them and see where you need to be so you won't overpay. So,
Okay.
hopefully that's right.
So this is not part of the training today, okay? But let me add this let me add this to it, okay? Same message, how do you deliver to them, right? So for example, that story, you're meeting someone new, stranger, and they start talking about their story, right? It's all about storytelling. Remember Kai, the story, the mortgage guy? It's like about the story. Well, I got this debt. I don't know if I can afford the house, etc. Right? Well, you know what? I have a lot of resources when it comes to lenders. Okay, let me connect you to a professional one. They will reach out to you, not how much debt or whatever, right? I'm just training you. They will reach out to you and they will give you a financial plan, right? And see how they can bring your credit up for you to be ready for a loan and that, maybe I can help you to earn your, to get you into your dream home or something like that. Yeah, but we're not gonna go detail into it because we're not the lenders. And like she say, that's good. Well, I'm not the lender, but I have a lot of resources. I work with a lot of different lenders that I'm sure they can help you out. So first, let me connect you with them, right? And whenever you're ready to move forward, I would love to represent you to find you your dream home. You see? Same, but different a little bit, right? So yes, anything that you try for lead generation, you got to keep track of it. How many times are you doing it per week, right? What have you been doing? You got to keep track of yourself because there's a lot of different ways for generating leads, but only focus on one or two. You can try to explore different ways, but just because someone else is very successful with social media doesn't mean that's going to work with you, and vice versa, right? I can show you how to create social media content and all that stuff, but I'm not going to be the one that's doing social media. That will not work for me. They try to get me to do the videos like, well, I can show you guys how to do it and then you just do it, but it's not for me. But you got to narrow it down to only one or two ways that you're going to generate leads. And what do? Consistency over and over again and keep track of it. Well, I'm doing this 5 things that, 5 videos this week. I'm going to do 10 videos next week and consistently, and then start seeing result and keep track of it. If, for example, after 1 month or so and you see nothing out of it, well, then there's maybe something wrong. Maybe you're going to need to change the contents of your social media. Then you need to connect with a social media expert. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? But that's how where did you meet your clients for the first time? That's important. Because from that, it could be social media, it could be friends and family. Because if you know where you meet them, and please tell me you know where you meet them, because if you don't, that's a big problem, okay? Then you can approach them differently, right? If it's family members, if it's friends, if it's colleagues, it's different. You somewhat already know them versus like a stranger, right? So you're gonna have to change the way that you approach them differently. Did you meet them at the property? Did you over the phone, via email, etc.? There should be a strategy for how to win the buyer. That's what I'm saying. Depends on where you meet the client, the prospects, and then you use the strategy that fits them, okay? Does your website, social media, channel, or blog clearly illustrate the buyer services that you provide? So if you want to represent and you want to focus on the seller, then post a lot of things on the sellers. If you're focusing on buyer, do everything as the buyer. Does that make sense? If I want to focus just on buyers, because my passion is I want to find my buyers that dream home, okay? Here's the marketing strategy. You got to write this down. If you happen to close on a deal already with your buyer, especially first-time home buyers, right? How do you get referrals? We're not going to give them gift cards or whatever because it's only $25 or whatever, right? But when you go through a transaction that's already closed, you have partners, title partners, loan officer partners, you, surveyors, home warranty, for example, insurance companies, right? Form your own team. Because what? Cindy, we just closed your deal. Congratulations. Now you get to move into your dream home. Are you planning to do a housewarming for your friends and family yet? Well, no, I'm still struggling. I got to move out and that. But yes, I would love to host one maybe next month. Well, you know what, Cindy? Let me handle that for you. How do you handle it? How much does it cost? 20, 30 people, 300, 400 max? How many parties of people you have in your club? 4 or 5 people. You just got the big check on commission. Can you afford $100? Yes, but use it wisely. So what you do, you partner with other vendors and you host a housewarming for them. Do you think when you do that for them and they're not going to show you, oh my gosh, hey, friends and family, Jonathan is the one that represent me and he found his dream home. Estella is the one that does the loan for me. She make it so smoothly. You see what I'm saying? your $100 in front of close friends and family. At least one deal out of it. Okay? Important, right? Thank you. Okay, so then you explain the process, what's changing. You got to educate what's changing with the NAR settlement. Most of them are already aware. Okay, so don't treat them like they're dumb. Okay, people understand nowadays with the high technology and ChatGPT and all this stuff. I got so excited with that yesterday. You know, and to take care of them moving forward. Update your resume and stats with key terms. Like if you have a number of contracts written and accepted for the first time, you see, that's your bio right there. Average of homes shown to find the right one. Do you have to show 50 houses before your buyer can get one? That's a problem. Or you just do 3 or 5 homes and you'll find your buyer a contract at home, right? So if you are the one that's have to show 50 houses to find one, don't put it on there, okay? Closing days or average money saved by client off list price. These are some of the specialties that you should put on the presentation, right? If you had it. Common sense, which is not always common. So if none of that appeal, don't put it on there. Okay. All right. So I just learned about the EXP exclusives, okay? Because of the NAR settlement, most agents may go through struggles to represent buyers and sellers and getting paid commission. So they came up with this app. It's called EXP Exclusives, okay? It's an additional software that they give you an option that's free, and then there's like $30 a month or something, $100 a month or something like that, okay? But do this barcode and then take a picture of this and download it. Basically, this is similar to MLS, okay? Except anything that you're looking for your clients, it will pop up like this even before it goes live, okay? Because with MLS, you have to log in, you have to search certain criteria first, and then you could find upcoming, you know, pending or whatever the status is, right? But this one is like a, what do you call it? Almost like a Domino Pizza app. Okay, it can pop up and say, oh, this one is upcoming. This fits with your criteria, what you're looking for your clients. Okay, so you can test it out, take the picture of this, log in. It will give you options. Oops. It will give you options. There's a free option. Try that out first and see if you like it. And if you need to use more, then you can sign up for, I think there's a second and a third level. Okay, but right now, just use whatever it's free. Although there's no such thing as free in America. Just kidding. Are you guys done with this? Can I get $2 of AC? Just one. I talk too much. Yeah, I may look mean, but I'm not that mean, okay? Just loosen up. It's fun. Okay, we're good? Okay, so what your buyer and presentations should look like? Because I'm using Daniel's laptop, so you guys can write this down. Again, go to EXP Enterprise, go to marketing. When you click on marketing, you're gonna see different presentation. It's already prepared, which is these right here, okay? You can change your contact, your photo, all that stuff, okay? Create this where it fits you, because this is you. This is a presentation that you can email out to your prospects. You can print it out and you can take it with you when you go over to meet with the potential sellers, okay? So it needs to be customized for you, okay? So what does it look like? Similar. It has a table of contents, and of course, all of this are, what do you call it? Edible, not edible. Huh? Yeah, that one. Edibles eating. Okay, dinner time, but okay, not that one. I'm hungry. Seafood. So table of contents, everything is customizable. Get to know you better, answer all your questions, ask you important information, determine if I am the agent for you, and then some additional bullets. One tip, main tip, very important. Don't just go see the clients. Yes, the intention is to turn them into your clients, right? By earning the listing. What happened? Okay, by earning the listing or represent them as a buyers. But as long as your intention is purely from here, you're helping them. You're their resources, right? You build a relationship and you build that trust, you will earn that business. Okay? So get to know me. Put your bio right there. Some of the homes you've been closing, how long you've been doing this, you know, all this stuff right here, okay? About my business is the history of your business. So because most of you guys are brand new, okay? If you put on here, well, I just got my license 2 months ago, okay? They may be like, well, I don't know if I want to list my house with you. But most of you here you're here because of your sponsor. You're here because of us. We partners, you know, find the partners that you can work with. Be a part of, maybe not the team directly, but you see what I mean? It's like leveraging other seasoned agents, okay? That can help shadow you, that can mentor you, and then create that as, this is my team. So when you go talk to the client, say, my name is Cindy Vo. I may be brand new agent, but I do have a supporting team who has been in the real estate business for over 3 decades. And we are here to support you. We're here to help you in any way we can. We are here to get your house sold at the best price that you're happy with, whatever, something like that, right? But you gotta leverage that you have a whole backup team. Don't just put 2 months on there or 1 month on there, right? Okay, you see what I mean? So your license may be brand new, but again, write a bio of, this is my team, this is my partner, right? Like for myself, I may be brand new as a real estate agent, but I'm not new in the real estate industry. I have over 2 decades of experience, you know? So things like that, right? Or if you work on a commercial deal, for example, well, Daniel Ang has been in commercial real estate for 20 plus years. Leveraging other people, using their credibility and reputation to help you earn that business. Because you're not alone. You are not alone. Karaoke. Y'all look so stressed. I'm just kidding. Okay. So again, like I mentioned earlier, tell me about your house. Why they bought this house at first, right? There was a story behind it. Listen to the story. Try to put yourself in their shoes and understand the story. What drew you to this home when you bought it? Okay. What is your favorite feature of this house? You want to learn the feature of this house, why they fell in love with it, and then use that feature and put on the description, right? Or share that out. What do you like about your neighborhood? Or not like about your neighborhood? What are some nearby attractions and amenities? And then again, last one is, what don't you like about it? Okay. So learn about the house, because envision your house. You're gonna list that house for them. You need to understand. Okay. Okay, so some important questions. Why are you moving? How soon do you need to move? What are you looking for from an agent? Do you anticipate any major challenges with selling your home? What will you do if your home doesn't sell? If I were you, probably take that off. Just saying. Okay. Now remember, some of you guys went to my Title Pro 247 class, how you generate lead generation, right? This is similar to Breakthrough Brokers software, okay? but this is already EXP has in there, all that stuff. So let's just say that you're general leads and you're farming the area and you're focusing on empty nesters, right? The questions in here, you can change it around a little bit, right? Why are you moving? Are your kids grown up and out in college? Are you looking to downsize in your home? Right? Are you looking to have more activities by senior housing or something like that, right? You see where I'm going? So it depends on these questions right here could be very important. Because the thing is, if I receive something like that in the mail and it's too general, too broad, I'm just like, it's just another advertisement, right? But if you click into the mindset, or if you focus on move-up buyers, these are young married couples with little kids, right? They are looking for what? Better school district, bigger home. So the questions could be like, are your kids, how do you say this? Are you looking to move into a bigger home so you can expand your family, right? Would you be interested in moving into a better school district? You see where I'm going? So almost like you gotta narrow down who is your audience. Who are you going after and focus on, and then customize your presentation so it hit in their mindset. Not mindset, sorry, mentality. Okay? Why I'm the best agent for you? What really sets me apart from other agents is what are you special about? I could be bilingual, right? My background is this, okay? I help a lot of VAs. I do a lot of resources, like I usually help my clients file their homestead exemption, for example, you know, some of that stuff. Like think about why you're different. That's why when you guys first walked in, I asked you why real estate. When you know your why, you will find your how, right? If you're passionate about real estate, then you gotta know your purpose and what makes you different. Are you just any agents out there? Right? What makes you different?
About more like helping people.
So when you say bilingual, are you focusing on helping your communities first? Okay, I'm giving you some guidance here, okay? You're helping your communities by providing them what kind of services? You have, let's just say Spanish, right? The Spanish community. I want to help other people, starting out with my own communities, because I speak their language. I can help you finding your home versus the other, because I have resources and partners that can help you closing a home who speak our own language. If that's your focus, that's your niche right there, then you need to expand that niche. Okay? If you work with investors, then that's your niche. You get a lot of resources, you have a lot of connections nationwide who are mainly investors. So I can help you, Cindy, as an investor to sell this home easily. Okay, but you gotta know that. You gotta narrow it down. Okay, so the proposition, it could be local market knowledge. I have been in Richardson for over 30 years. I see the market change. I'm very familiar with this area. That's why it makes me stand out from others, because I see all these economic changes. I see how the market is booming. I see all the developments. You see what I mean? There's a lot of different ways that can differentiate yourself from others, okay? Ability to communicate, again, that's been bilingual or trilingual. My technologic advantage, not me in there, but, and you can replace this text with whatever that's customized for you. Okay. My signature approach, staying on top. I take quarterly classes to stay current with my industry. I study the market trend, whatever in there. You can throw in there, customize it, okay? I would tell you if either I or my company is not the best fit for your situation, they like that because you've been honest to them, right, with them, because not everybody is going to be your clients. And if you understand that mentality, are you the right fit for them? Or they the right fit for you? If you see the comp is only 800 and they try to have you listed for $1 million, you don't want to take on that listing and have the listing sit there for 6 months or a year and cannot sell it because it's going to be on your record, right? That may not be the right fit for you, okay? Again, why are you different, etc. So this is a sample of the seller's presentation. You can see all this on eXp Enterprise, okay? And this is very important. Here's the seller's roadmap. Meet with the real estate professional first and then move forward to the closing date, okay? For you as a new agent, you need to study the roadmap for both buyers and sellers because then you know how the process goes, okay? It's very important as well. Y'all can message me or text me or whatever, your emails, and I will send this presentation out for you, okay? I was gonna create the QR code, but I forgot. Daniel. Okay, all right, so let's move on. The CMA, competitive market analysis, it needs to have that run for them, the reports, and so they can see the homes nearby has been sold within how many months, what is the price, so you can help them determine the right price, okay? Because one of the most important things to earn a listing is the right pricing. Again, you don't want to sit on there for a long time. The right pricing. Okay. And then eXp Marketing also has this listing kit. So if you have a listing, they will create all this. You can order it. It's like $100. They send you in this nice box with everything that you need for that listing. Okay. The for sale sign, the postcards to send it to the neighborhood and all that stuff, telling them that you have this property listed for sale. Okay. And then move on. Thank you. We're done. We're just kidding. Now we move on to the buyer presentation. Okay. Same thing, right? Very similar. You can change it. But let me show you this. Right here. This is how you earn your buyer's agent commission. So you represent them. I will always put your interest first. Okay, we know that. Property search. Let's just say if I'm not gonna hire buyer agents because I don't want to pay the commission, right? How do I search property? Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, whatever, right? Are those accurate? No. Does it give you all the information on the listing? No, right? So that's one of the main things. They don't have that access. Estella, I have that access. I can search your property out of all this many thousand homes to find you that one dream home, right? Your offer, once you choose the property, I will get the CMA for you. I will get you the comparable. How do you know if you're gonna put in an offer at the right price? They don't have the access, right? You do. That's why you pay for your license and become realtor. Okay, your due diligence during the option period. What is the next step? I know a lot of inspectors. I can bring them in and do the inspection for you. And then during the option period, I can negotiate that if anything needs to be repaired, etc. Right? Your transaction, I will monitor your transaction from the time we put in that contract until it goes to closing and you get your key. Okay. eXp fee, you'll be responsible for the fee. Right here, you will be responsible for compensating eXp for the services provided to you. Sellers may offer compensation to eXp as a buyer's broker. If this occurs, the amounts that you have agreed to compensate eXp will be reduced on a dollar-to-dollar basis. You see? So if they agree, pay you 10 grand, 3%, if the sellers agree to pay whatever, then it's the difference. Okay. Commitment to fair housing. I pledge to strictly adhere to all, applicable local, state, federal law, housing laws, etc. And then the relationship, of course, it doesn't end here. Let me help you sell this home and buy your new home or whatever. But these are your point of contact why you deserve to pay commission. Do you have to pay for MLS? Yes. It's not free, right? For you to get access, you have to pay to get access. Is that something the buyers can get? No. Plus many more, you see? So that's why you educate them why you deserve to get paid. Make sense? Now we can go out and get buyers? It is. I'm just telling you, all this is under eXp Enterprise marketing. When you go to eXp Enterprise, go down at the bottom. It has a couple about marketing, brochures, logo, business card, signage, all that stuff. Click on the marketing, and then it has a whole list of marketing brochures. Click on the presentation. This is buyers and sellers presentation. I should have just said I designed this. Okay. Okay. Here's the buyer's roadmap too. It's very important, right? And without an agent, they don't get this kind of education. So one thing is, you know what? If you hire me as your buyer rep, you're getting yourself a personal coach. Advisor, whatever you call it, right? To make it sound fancy. Okay, so have any one of you logged into Zip Form? Okay, Zip Form. No, Zip Form. Zip Form is where you fill out all your documents and send it for DocuSign. The SkySlope also has an option. If you pay $35 a year, you also get the access to all the forms, so you can just do everything in one website. Okay, SkySlope. I try both, but personally, I like Zip Form. The only thing with Zip Form is once you prepare the documents, you send it out to your clients, they sign, then you have to go to SkySlope and upload it. Okay. But overall, I think it's easier to fill out, but y'all can test it out. Okay. So here's the scenario for you guys. Can you log into Zip Form? Log into Zip Form. I'm going to be your buyer. Okay. Now I'm going to be your buyer. So log into Zip Form. Sorry, do this first. Go to MLS. Pull up that address. 2909 Edgerton Road, Fort Worth, for example. Okay. The buyer's agent commission is 1%. Okay. How would you educate the buyer, me, that you deserve more commission? And how would you assist me in writing an offer? You guys have MLS? Zip Form? Go ahead and pull it up. Have y'all done offers, anything before? Anyone here write an offer before? No offer, right? This is live experience for you right now. I'm your buyer, okay? So
I suggested having these role plays because if I was a buyer,
yep.
I want you to give me a contract.
But I don't just want to tell you, I need you guys to really hands-on with this. So log into MLS and Zip Form for me. We're gonna do this real time. Because you guys don't want to practice like this in front of your clients. Yes, go both. Go to MLS first and pull up this listing. Yeah, so first of all, you can see what it looked like. Yeah, can we go from here? Yeah.
Yeah, you can- What do you do? What do you need? What do you want?
Like, just,
Animals?
yeah,
What do you want to pull up?
I don't know if I can use Andy.
You want to use Netris?
Yeah, Nicholas. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna use this. $29.09 Edgerton. Hold on, let me pull it up for you. Y'all in MLS yet?
Yeah.
Okay. When you log into your MLS, click on Matrix. Okay. Gonna do search and detailed. Oops. Okay, there you go. 2909. Okay. You can just put in the street number.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna pull up.
What's this name?
Edgerton. Right here, Edgerton. Daniel, how do I click on this?
Yeah, click it.
Like, how do I- Okay, y'all see this? This is the listing. Okay. 1%. FYI, Lennar Builder only pay 1% commission. Okay. Okay, so I want you to see this. Whether it's new build or not, okay? Never mind. Look at right here. For a limited time, get a 4.25% interest rate up to $6,000 in closing cost, plus included refrigerator, washer, and dryer. How much is that total up? That's a lot of money right there. Okay, you see? So, give or take, even if this is zero, they're not paying for it. But you can use something similar like this and say, Cindy, I can represent you and negotiate where I can get you more concession or more compensation, better interest rate or whatever like that, right? At the end, you are getting more than what you're paying my commission. Does that make sense? New washer, dryer, refrigerator, that's $7,000 right there. The interest rate right now is probably 6.25%. That's 2% less. If, I'm just saying, throwing scenario, we're doing the scenario. That's 2% saving. 2% saving on a 30-year term. How much is that saving? Depends on the loan amount. Well, this is $479,000. Okay. So let's just round up $500,000. If they put in the normal 20%, the loan amount is $400,000 loan. Within 30 years, they're probably, I don't know, paying what, 600,000, 700,000 at the end of the term for interest. You're saving them 2%. For example, right? These are just examples. But you see, you could be saving them hundreds of thousands of dollars, or at least $40,000, $50,000, and they're paying you 15,000. Do the math. You see why we're having this NAR settlement? Is you gotta work where you represent your buyer and you earn that commission. Okay? You be there the whole way. You think builder is easy? That is not easy. Before, a lot of buyers just, well, I already negotiate the price with the builder and I just need an agent to come in and, you know, be on the contract, and then whatever you get paid, 3-4%, just give me back half. Well, it's not easy like, it doesn't stop there. Do you know how long it takes to build a house? 6 months, 9 months? Are you just gonna be put in the contract, be done? No. Even if you agree that at first in the process, they'll be like, Cindy, I need to walk through the property. Oh, they're framing the house now. Oh, this. Oh, I need to go to the design center, right? There's a lot of extra steps that you're gonna be helping them. And at the end, it's way more than 1.5% that they pay you, or you're getting paid. Okay, so that's one scenario. Okay, so now you see the MLS. I want you to go to zip form and pull up 124 family contract. And I want you to put in an offer as if you're representing me as the buyer. How would you representing me as a buyer for me to pay you 2% commission because the builder pay 1? Okay? So put it in and let me know. I got all night long. Okay, zip form.
Okay.
So eventually, this field, let's say BAC, it's gonna go away. And it's gonna be replaced with concession. You don't have the account yet? No, you're gonna help me put in an offer to buy this home. So before you put in an offer, you need to check the tax records. Who is the seller so you're gonna put in the contract, right? Have to go here, tax. Oh my goodness. Not an Apple person. Maybe. It's like the math.
Tax.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Okay, never mind. That's why. Sorry. There's no tax. So because it's a new build, there's no tax records. But on a normal existing property, you gotta go to the tax records and you gotta check and see who is the sellers that you're gonna put on the contract. Okay? And then also right here, oops, you see that right there next to the clock? The 3 documents icon right there? You see that right there next to the clock? Okay, that's called transaction desk. So every time the listing agent have a listing, they will upload all documents related to the property. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Hold on, let me put this. This listing of ours is gonna go live on Friday. So bring your buyers. You see how I'm marketing the property? Just kidding. Okay, so this property here, if you put in the contract, you gotta go to the tax first. And that's gonna show what's shown on the tax records as the owners. Okay, so that's the seller's name. Yeah, let's just go to this property, guys. Sorry, 5801 Glenmore. So right here is the transaction desk. As you can see, we already uploaded 3 things. These should be the 3 things that you should always upload it on any of your listing. 5801, right there, Glenmore, Glenmore. It says upcoming, coming soon. Seller disclosure. So when you finish your presentation, the listing presentation, you go to the potential sellers, you earn that listing already. You have them sign what? The listing agreement, right? The next thing you need them to sign, if they have an existing survey, they need to provide that survey for you. They need to sign what is called the T-47, which is a survey affidavit. That document only applies if there's an existing survey. And what it means is that, is there any changes from the survey to the property? So sometimes people could add the pool, oasis in the back, right? But it's not on the survey when they bought the home. They add it on later on. So on the T-47, they have to disclose what was done to the property differently. Okay? And then the SD is also, it stands for seller disclosure. Have to always have the seller do this. Do not fill it out for them. Have them fill it out. Yes, no, not sure, whatever on there, okay? And then you should upload all of this before your listing. Why? So that when you as buyer's agent put in offers, you cannot later on come back and say, well, my buyer did not receive the seller disclosure. We didn't know what happened to this property, right? Or my buyer didn't see the survey, or we didn't know the pool was added. Everything was already uploaded on here. So as a listing agent, you want to make sure everything is well prepared. Okay. So, gosh, how do I get out over here? Oh, this is so stressful.
You're doing great.
Thank you. So try to put an offer in. You should bring your buyer here because we're offering 2.5%, not 1. We're very generous. 2.5%. Yes, it's our listing. You know how I got this listing? It was a for sale by owner. Yep, this was for sale by owner that I convert into a listing.
So you're saying, do the offer, I mean, would be first, right? Knowing you how you want to pay your.
No, the purpose of this, guys, is for you to practice. So imagine I am your buyer and I want you to put in an offer for me to purchase this home. You as a buyer's agent rep, how would you write up an offer for me? Because I need you to know how to put in all the terms of the contract, read the listing, understand the listing, what to offer, and what to educate me. And imagine if I'm the first time home buyers. How are you gonna work with me to represent me? This is good practice for you now because you don't want to practice this in front of your client. So the purpose of training today is for you to practice. That way you can be very professional in front of your real client. So I'm your fake client right now. 5801 Glenmore. Right there. Uh-huh. Friday. And then this morning, I went to see a seller and I got the listing. Again. Just act pretty. No, I'm just kidding. No, it wasn't. Okay. No, okay. So I reached out to him. He was referred by someone else. And so I reached out to him and I said, you know, I hear that you want to sell this property. May I understand the story, right? And so I was able to talk to him before I came. And we were somewhat agree on the commission. And so I came to him and I meet up with him, and it turns out that he's someone I knew ever since I put my footstep in the US. Well, actually, no, we met in Thailand because back in 91, when I left Vietnam, we have to stop by Thailand for like a week. So our whole family met his whole family there. So for 33 years, we know each other. We kind of run into each other sometimes, small world. Last time I met him probably over a decade ago at my old title company. And now the minute I walked in, and you know, because it's like, I was referral with the name of Cindy. And, you know, he knows me before I became Cindy. So the minute we met, he was like, oh my gosh, it's you. So, you know, I would just sit in and chat with him. And I was like, okay, so why did you want to sell this home? How quickly do you want to sell it? And I run the comp already. I run the comp before I came. The comp is very high. It's about $900 to $1 million. Okay. But he was like, well, and it's a huge house. It's over 5,000 square feet home, 6 bedrooms, 6 baths. And he was like, well, you know, I was married before. Now I'm single. Huh? No, it's a different one. I'm sure. Yeah. You know, now I'm just by myself, and I own a different lot in Roy City that I plan to build a brand new house and resell. So I need the cash out from here. And, you know, now I'm just by myself. So I just want to sell quick. And I say, okay. So I was like, so how much you want to take home and things like that. And, you know, I negotiate with him the commission, and he said, well, the other one has a lower commission. And I said, well, you get what you pay for. This is what I offer, right? Just blame it on EXP. I got my split. I got all the technology costs. I got all this costs. Just kidding. No, but because of that, you know, we can probably get the house staged for you to bring the value up, draw in more traffic. But at the end, I told him that that was before I met him. But when I meet up with him, I was like, look, we don't need to stage this out. You don't need to fix anything else. Instead, because you need the money like right now, let's lower down a little, okay, so we can sell quick. So actually right now we try to sell it off market, and we could got a couple offers in. So it's even before I go live on listing. And then he was like, okay, where do I sign? I was like, well, let me go back to the office and send you the listing agreement. And then he just signed. Yeah. So, you know. That's not even my listing, it's Andy. Because I'm on commercial, I can't list a house. Yeah. No, I'm purely on commercial. We don't have access to MLS. So I'm getting all this listing for Andy. So, you know, I told him, where's my share? He said, you have access to my account. Just kidding. He worked for free. They work for free. He works for free. But he gets to go play soccer whenever he wants to, so it's a trade-off. Okay, did y'all put it in an offer for me? It's 849,999, okay? If you represent me, read the description. Okay, read the description. I'm looking for a home for a multi-generation. I have a mom to take care of. I have 2 young kids. So read the description. Is this a good house for me? Is this a good comp for me? Right? Well, we still have to put the size and all that stuff rooms in. But go through it and see how much would you educate me to put in this offer to buy. Okay? For those that not familiar with Parker, there's a house down the street, fully remodeled, listed for 1.15 right now. And this is 850. 849,999. I told the seller to list for 849,999. You know why? So that whoever the buyers is doing the search has a max budget of 850, this house will still pop up in your search. And the goal is to bring more potential buyers, to have more traffic, to get multiple offers. Because when you find the right buyers that fell in love with the house, they are willing to pay more. Okay?
So let's
This is, yeah, 849.9. Should I put the price in or should I bump it up to buy?
So let's say you have multiple,
Mhm.
and the offer person, right? So you're asking for, let's say, I want the house. And I'm gonna put the maximum price, because sometimes they lower the price. Or, like, offers that, they start with 10. Oh, I give you 820. Right? So you have multiple offers, but not above what you should, you know.
So let's just say I got 3 offers. Now you're turning my position around. Now I'm representing the seller, right? I got multiple offers. I got 3 offers in. Let's say 1 at the price, at the listing price, 850. 1, 825. 1, 875. Okay? See where I'm going? 1 is higher, 1 is at listing price, 1 is lower. So as a listing agent, I'm going to show them what? All the offers. I'm going to lay out all the offers for them and go through all the terms. Okay? How quickly do they want to sell this house? If the 850 is lower than 875, but it's a cash buyer, or let's just say no, it's a conventional buyer, they can close within 3-4 weeks. The 875 is higher, but they have FHA or VA loan. It's gonna take them 45 days to close. The 825 is lower, but it's a cash deal. They can close within 2 weeks, right? And then you gotta look at the other contingency. How long is the option period? And you compare. You compare the financing, the price, the closing date, the option period. Because sometimes if they offer lower 825, as investor comes in. They don't even need to see the house. They don't even need to go through option period. So it's 0. No option period. Everything go hard, like earnest money, right? 825 closing in 2 weeks. My seller could pick that one. It depends on the client's need and what they expect, what their expectation are. Okay, so that's how you weight it in. Your job is to present all the offers, explain it to them, right? Well, this offer is the highest, but it's gonna take longest to close. This one could be the lowest, but it is the quickest closing for you. However, there's also no option period. So if they cancel that, even if it's the lowest, they don't get the earnest money back. And then also the amount of earnest money, right? All those terms you have to compare. Sometimes the seller is like, well, I already purchased my new home. I'm not in a rush. I'll choose the big, the most amount, 875, and I'll wait. I'm not in a rush. Or someone's like, well, I need this money to purchase another one, so I need a quick closing. I'll pick the 825. No option period, cash closing.
Because if the seller is already agreed, seller.
Mhm.
Because sometimes, well, things like that, if you put lower, and you create a multiple offer to bring up the price.
Not always bring up the price, but the goal for multiple offers so that the sellers have more options to choose. Because it's not always bring up the price. It could be a little lower, but quick cash closing, for example, right? But that gives them more options, more traffics. And they like to see that. Whether it's lower, higher, if all the offers are lower than the asking price, then they kind of see why. Okay, well, I need to lower the listing price down. You know, for example. Not done with your contract yet? Mm-hmm. You put in an offer for me. You're gonna put in an offer for me. So what would you tell me and how much offer, what is the offer price I should put in? And what are the terms? For example, and I will tell you what's the best one for this deal, because I know the area. I live in the neighborhood. So I'm telling you right now, the house about this size, fully remodeled, is gonna be listed for about $1 million. Yeah. Okay. 1.5, single story. 4 bedrooms, 4 full baths. Upstairs is a game room and a full bath can be easily converted to a second owner suite for multi-generational. 1.5. It's just a game room and a full bath. Okay. The beautiful Paul Taylor homes. Look at the oasis in the back. From a designer standpoint, with this, I have money, I would just replace this whole thing with what's called the indoor-outdoor door. And slide it all out, and you have a full oasis. How beautiful it is. Wait till you see the pool. It's older home, it needs some TLC, but it has a lot of characters, all their heart and soul into it from this family. Their mother used to live here, she passed away, they raised their 2 kids up. You know, now they all grown, move out, empty nesters. Very emotional. I have to help them pack last week. Because they were like crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. I can't deal with crying. Tears. Oh. So this is the entrance to the upstairs. So this is the upstairs. It's huge. It has a full bath. Usually how they built is like game room and a half bath. But because they're put a full bath, all you need is just a wall, door, closet, second owner suite. Okay, 700 square feet upstairs. That's a full bath. Okay. There's an owner suite. Huge. This one. Uh-huh. Yep. And this is a owner's bath. Huge bath. 2000. This is the pool. Right there is a second detached garage. It has a workshop is it has AC heater in there already, okay? And then upstairs has a loft. He already put insulation in, more than half of it already. That's additional 600, huh? Oh, it's already done? Upstairs on the loft is a 600 square feet space that you can easily convert into an apartment if you have like older kids that need their own space and all that stuff. It's amazing, yeah. You can, yeah, rent it out. And you can convert downstairs and upstairs, that's 1,200 square feet. It's like a whole apartment. How much would you pay that size nowadays? Over $2,000.
Yeah.
Or you can convert into like all the living areas and then 2-3 bedrooms upstairs. Plus they'll have utilities. You put a bathroom in that unit too.
So it's more like, you can say like convertible.
It's still in good living condition, but has a diving board, beautiful pool. So there's a garage right there, a second garage. Mhm. So 3-car garage with a house and then an additional 2-car garage detached. Actually, even more than a normal size 2-car. Because he has boats and truck and all that stuff. 2 detached with a loft, workshop, and then 3 attached. 3,600 square feet home. It's beautiful in the backyard. And this area is it's like country living in city's limits. No, it's between Wiley and Lucas. Wiley, Lucas, Allen. It's right there. All the brand new homes in across the street from this, Angel Parkway and Bethany. On the other side are like grand homes, at least $2 million homes. Yeah, but look at this. This is a driveway on the sideway. 3-car garage and a detached. It's an aerial view, corner lot. Thanks for shot for this view.
It was really, it was way more bigger, like from the top.
It's half-acre lot.
Yeah.
It's a half-acre lot built by Paul Taylor. Yeah, so much characters. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Oops. Oh my goodness. How do I open this? Can we not use this for commercial class tomorrow? Because I'm like, how do I open this back up? Plus, I don't know why I minimize it.
We want to,
Just exit out.
we want to go.
Oh, okay. Anyways, y'all ready? Or y'all want me to show you how to fill out the contract? Contract, okay. Ooh. Some people like Sky Slope. I like Zip One better. It has more points. Sadaf, do you like more Sky Slope or Zip One? I know, right?
Yeah, it doesn't-
I know.
so if you use.
See, Daniel, SkySlope doesn't have all the forms. Hmm,
I mean, so if SkySlope doesn't have all the forms, then stay back with it.
yeah,
Because it forms.
don't pay $35, we just wasted.
No, $35 just for the, for Digis.
Oh.
It's easier to do, if you do your form, you just form, you save it and then send it to your side flow, so that way you can send it to your client.
Yeah,
If you're transitioning from another company, just continue with the form. And if, another thing, if you ever leave.
but that's a
So
good
for me,
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, the zip form works. SkySlope, when you create that transaction, you got an email, that you just forward everything to the email. It goes into-
No, that's a good idea, is prepare your forms in zip form, upload to SkySlope and have it signed. Once it's signed, it goes back to your file anyways. And you have to use SkySlope to upload all your documents for you to get your permission, the CDA. So what we did before was we prepare the forms and then we send out for signatures in zip form, and then we have to upload it again. Some, but not much.
So my opinion, because some people join like Metrotex or you join NatCar and you want your virtual form through that for some reason, SkySlope's not gonna happen. Because Metrotex also have certain forms.
If I already have, a written agreement signed,
Mhm.
can I still have this?
Yes.
Yeah, you can
you
upload it.
PDF to SkySlope, because you have to have a check. You create a transaction for a file,
Yeah.
and then from there, then you can upload the document. And then, of course, you can sort it out where you put the check.
Huh? Oh, so this is the contract for this listing. Okay, so you gotta put in like the parties' names, the property address, legal description, exclusion, go back to the MLS. For this particular listing, we put exclusion is all the personal items in the garage, so they gotta move it out. They're still gotta move it out, okay? If I were you and you put in the offer, just copy and paste on MLS and put it on here, okay? Yeah, because he's married. He's married. Well, because we have the listing, so we know he's married. But as you, as an agent, buyer's agent, you just put whatever is on the tax record, so just on the husband, okay? Yes. So then here is a sales price, you put in the offer price, the down payment, what kind of financing it is, or if it's cash, okay? If it is hard money or private lender, before people put it as cash, it's not cash anymore. Cash is only if they have cash in their bank. So if you put it as cash, when you submit the offer, you always submit the offer contract with proof of funds, if it's cash, showing the bank statement. You gotta redact all the account information, okay? Or with a pre-approval letter, is when you submit the offer in, okay? But otherwise it's some kind of financing. You gotta check the appropriate, box, and then you have to attach that addendum to it. Okay? Leases, if there's any leases, if it has minerals or any natural resources, which does not apply to this property. So you can skip on. Earnest money, usually at least 1%. Okay? Put it in, and then the option period, option money, fill it in. And then the title policy, usually is about 0.7% of the sales price. So on an 850,000, the title policy, the owner's title policy is about 5,000. Okay? Owner's title policy, right here, this section. On an 850, I think it's about 5,000. Point, what is that? 0.6, 0.7, something like that. It goes by the bracket too. Like 0.6, 0.7, do 0.7, do a higher amount, just to be safe. And then who's gonna pay for it? Where's the title company closing? Okay. Survey, coverage, all these terms here, survey. Okay, so normally if I represent the seller and you put in an offer, box 1 needs to be checked because we have the existing survey and the survey affidavit already. The second section is if it's not been approved by the title company, then who's paying for it? So most of the time, because we represent the seller, if we provide it, then it needs to be buyer's expense. Okay, again, everything's negotiable, but if you represent the buyer, you may want to put in the sellers, but when we represent the seller, we may want to make sure it's a buyer's price, right? It's about $600 on a lot and block. Okay, so these are some of the fees that you need to kind of know too, because they may ask you, well, how much does it cost? Right? Because it's also factoring the closing costs, and then they can tell you, okay, this is the offer I want to put in. And of course, number 2 and 3, if you need a new survey. Okay. Objections, if property is in a property owner association, we don't call it HOA anymore, homeowner association. It is changed to POA, property owner association. This one has, yes, it's in there, so you got to check it. This is an older community, so most of the time you will not have that section 611 required notices for mud, pit, etc. These are usually additional tax, okay? So usually it happens at the brand new subdivision. They add in a new water tank, for example. So that's when you have to put it in information. Remember on the listing transaction desk earlier, we upload the T47, the survey, and what? The seller disclosure. So right here in this section, you have to check box 1, buyer has received the notice because we're uploading on there, okay? That's why being a good listing agent, you're gonna make sure all documents are uploaded before the listing goes live. So the buyer's agent cannot come back and say, well, we never get it. Well, it's on there, okay? Again, usually is a buyer accept the property as is. Now I get this question as a loss. If we put this and during the option period, inspection report comes back and then can we still negotiate? Yes, everything's still negotiate. That's why you have the option period so you can negotiate after the inspection. And for anything that's happened, you can still get the earnest money back if you terminate within the option period, okay? Yes. So let's say if the property requires 10,000 repairs, right? You can negotiate either in lieu of the seller concession or lower the price down, okay? Negotiable. So you don't need this section unless you're representing family members or yourself, and you have to disclose. And then of course the closing date here, this is also very critical, okay, factor. So if your client is going to get a loan with a lender, then you need 2 things. First of all, what is the financing due diligence? You need to know this term, financing due diligence. And we're going to fill that out on the third-party financing addendum. Basically, it's saying the buyer has 14 days to cancel if the loan does not get approved. And of course, that 14 days or whatever days is after the option period, okay? So your lender needs to tell you how many days to put it in that section and then when they can close. No, what I'm saying is that 14 days is longer than that option period. Okay? Most of the time, option is 5 to 7 days. And then the third-party financing addendum is about 14, 21 days max. Okay? But if the seller is looking at multiple offers and they also see third-party financing addendum is 21 days, they may reject it. Because it's taking too long. If you're a good buyer's agent, before you even put in an offer, you should educate your buyer to get a pre-approval letter already. In fact, before you take your buyer to a showing, you need to have either proof of funds or pre-approval, not pre-qual, pre-approval. Pre-approval means your buyer already submit their tax, their financial documents to the lender for them to get the pre-approval. Okay, so that basically means the pre-underwriting period. Some lenders out there are really good. They even pre-underwrite the deal before you get the contract, which means that you can put the closing date like 2 weeks or 3 weeks versus like 30 days or 45 days. Okay, so that's very important. People think that the market now is slowing down, but that's not the truth. That's not the fact. It depends on the location. Okay, like I say, there's a house in the same neighborhood, put on listing for like 2 weeks. Next thing we know, they pull out the sign already and it's already closed. So still very hot. Depends on the area. But you got to know the market. So you got to put the closing date there. And then possession, you know, with this particular house, the seller's already moved out. So then you got to have to check upon closing and funding. That's when the buyer takes possession of the house. If there's any lease back, then it's according to the lease. Okay. Special provision is there, but highly recommend do not fill anything out in this section. Okay, seller concession. We talk about that all day long today. That's section 12 right there. Okay, so if for some reason the seller's listing agent is not paying your commission, in lieu, they will fill this out. But when you put in an offer, you can put in here, including your commission. So if the house needs fix up, 5,000 repair, your commission is 15, put 20,000 in there. Does that make sense? That's where the seller concession goes. Dahlia, have you taken your contract class? Okay, well, there you go. Okay. Let's go on. Okay, you got to fill out your buyer's contact information, your email address. Check all the appropriate addendums that need to be attached to the contract. Okay. For this instance, this property is in the property association. So you need to attach right here. Okay. Mandatory membership in a property owner association. Got to fill in there who's paying for the transfer fee, etc., how much. And then because it's a third party, they are getting a loan, it's not cash. You need to attach third-party financing, whatever appropriate for this transaction. Okay. And again, you got to put your information out there. No more commission here if it's not offering commission. Again, it's in lieu of the concession. Okay. Huh? No, that's the seller's. Because I pull up from the our file, so they have the seller's information. You bring me the buyer? Okay. I think that's it. Oh, you add the QR code. Okay. Can you make sure the QR code, Sadaf, when they pull up the QR code, it is PDF and not Canva? Can you do that? The QR code for them to take the picture of the presentation.
That one's Canva, but it's
Yours only?
That's fine. Yeah. Okay, here's the QR code. Y'all hungry?
Yeah.
Questions? Only one allowed. Just kidding. You have any questions? You know how to fill a contract now? Yeah. When you get the potential clients, that's when I will be hands-on with you. Hmm?
I was just-
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No? Okay. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Okay. Done?